Hey, all, Kyle here, AA0Z. I got a new camera, but first I want to basically pick a bone with GoPro. And I am replacing a GoPro Hero 9 that I have had for 3 or 4 years. If you've seen any video of me in the field, even going back to the early days, I have been using GoPros exclusively. I had a GoPro, I think 3, and then I had a GoPro 7, and this is the GoPro 9. And I have a love-hate relationship with this piece of equipment. It is served me well, but man, is there a lot of quirks to this GoPro. I have learned throughout the years that there are a ton of bugs in the firmware. I'm going to give you some of my gripes about this camera before we get into my new camera that I just purchased. Now, I've never had a professional DSLR camera. I've just never gravitated towards them. The GoPros have their place. You know, it's small, it's compact, but, you know, you can't zoom in. I mean, you can film in 4K, and do some digital zoom, but I've never had a zoom on any of my cameras that I have purchased because they've all been GoPros. So whenever I got this, I was pretty excited. Small, compact. I really don't film in 4K. I film in 1080p, so I can keep the file sizes down, and just 30 frames a second. I don't do any of that crazy 60 frames or 120 frames per second and do, you know, slow motion shots. I upgraded the firmware, and I had found that this camera has become not unreliable, but man, is it finicky. There are times whenever I would turn the power off, turn the power off. It beeps 4 times or 5 times, to say the power is off. And I would come back into my bag, and it would not be touching anything and find that the battery is down to 10% because it has turned itself on for no reason. Whenever I was doing my 9-day road trip through the Appalachian Mountains and the Blue Ridge Parkway, I would charge this in my car between stops, and I noticed that sometimes it would charge, sometimes it wouldn't. I would turn it off. I would plug the USB port in here to charge, and I would put the camera down, and I would get to my next stop to pull it out and to film, only to find that it's on. That's been frustrating. I haven't lost any footage, but I'm forgetful. So I will shoot something and go back, and I know that there's been a couple of times where I've thought that I have shot something and I really haven't. Now, did I hit the record button and stop the record button accidentally, or it stopped recording and it put a file there and I thought it was junk and I threw it away? Maybe. But I have yet to have a file that got corrupt on this SD card. I did go out and buy an SD card that was compatible and on GoPro's compatibility list. So I think that is what has saved me. I know some other YouTubers who have used a GoPro 9 and 10, and they have gotten corrupt images or corrupt video from the 9 and the 10. So that's another gripe that I have about GoPro is the way that this GoPro numbers their files whenever you stick the SD card in your computer is a nightmare. I know that's a sequential number, but whenever it goes over 30 minutes, it increments that number by another, like 1,000 is the file that it starts with. Well, then to start the second sequence in that file, or the next video, is 2,100, and then 3,100 and 4,100. And whenever you're sorting that in Windows, it doesn't sort by number correctly. It puts all of the continued files or the continued video at the end, if you're sorting it by number. Those are my gripes about the Hero 9. I did buy the Media Mod case, which is here, and again, whenever I push this into the Media Mod and I close this door, sometimes it turns on by itself and sometimes it doesn't. And this has got 2 cold shoes, and I got the DJI mic, right? Everyone knows the DJI mic. These things are great. These things are rock solid. And there is really no way, this has got a USB-C interface, the receiver does. So, and there's no real way that you can plug this into, you can't plug this into the USB. So you have to use the 1/4-inch jack here to get audio into the device. So I had to buy a converter. So I've got this big, huge converter hanging off of the Media Mod. And then I 3D printed this little doodad here that I put into one of the cold shoes. And I screw this down. And then I put the base of the GoPro or the DJI mic onto this thing that sticks out. And then I've got my wires that come into my GoPro, and they connect into this 3.5 millimeter jack here. It's kludgy. I've been looking for another solution. Or another thing is to charge the battery in the Media Mod, you have to take the unit out to get to the USB and the battery. So I don't like that either. So I replaced it. I bought a brand new camera, and I'm assuming you could probably guess on what camera I got. It just came out last week, so this is the 2nd week in August, and I pulled the trigger, bought it. So let's take a look at what I bought. Here it is, the DJI Osmo Action 4. So I was going to buy the 3, but I heard some rumblings that the 4 was coming out in a couple of weeks. And sure enough, here it is. So, unbox this yet. So let's peel the plastic off. Let's see what's in here. If I can do this without stabbing myself in the neck. And I know unboxings are so horrible. I hate watching unboxings. And here I'm doing one. And I got another piece of tape. All right, so in here, there is the Osmo Action 4. There's that box. And accessories, and I got the play longer, fly longer. No, the adventure combo. The adventure combo. I think it was $100 more. Usually, whenever I buy something like this, I have it for a while. I'm more interested in this like selfie stick, to tell you the truth, because I need something that has a long telescoping arm that I can kind of set on the ground whenever I'm doing activations, POTA activations. So this is, oh wow, holy moly! Look at how, looky here, boy. Look how big that is. And then I've got a base. It doesn't have a tripod base, but I'm gonna put a tripod base. That's awesome. Like I said, I think I'm more excited about this this telescoping arm. All right, so let's take a look at the accessories. I think that you get a DJI charging base, kind of like what you get with the DJI microphone. So USB-C to USB-C. It's always nice. And then it also has this new type of magnet lock system, mounting system, that I'm kind of excited about too. So here is the locking system, and there's supposed to be magnets on the camera. And then here are, oh, there's a bunch of literature. I don't know what this is. This is maybe a lens cover. Here is the battery. Ooh, that's tiny. And hopefully there are 3 batteries in here. There is 3 batteries. So we'll start charging those batteries up. They kind of look like the GoPro. They're very nondescript. They don't even, well, they say DJI on them, but yeah, very nondescript batteries. These batteries are supposed to last like 150 minutes or something along those lines. If you shoot in 1080p, it's supposed to have like 150 minutes, which is awesome. So now let's pop open the mic or the camera. And now I got the mic on my mind. So here's the camera, and then here is basically the cover. So let's take the plastic off the cover here. And I think this resembles kind of the media mod in the GoPro world. So you've got some screws there. What else is in here? Oh, there's a sticky base. I hate these sticky bases. I don't know what to stick them on because they never come off. Like, I'm not going to stick this on my car and then try and sell my car, and they're just like, oh, it's got a GoPro mount on it. I'm not going to... I mean, that's kind of being petty, but... So it's got another magnetic base, which is cool. I don't think I'll ever need more than 2. I say that. And then this case, let's see. This is how... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's got some magnets on it. Oh, yeah, that's not coming off. That definitely ripped. And it's got these little nubs on the side of it, and it grips the inserts here, or the indentations here on the side. So then it looks like that's how it comes across, or it comes apart. So it's got this little snap on the top, probably just enough, just big enough to fit over. Then here is the DJI Osmo 4. If I can get it open here. And there's a ton of YouTube videos on which is better. I think that, you know, the sensor on this thing is a little bit bigger than what's currently out in GoPro, but I'm just looking for a camera that I can rely on, that I can turn on, that is not going to give me battery issues, errors. It's not going to turn on whenever it's in my pack. I just need something that is stable. Plus, I can use the DJI mic here and plug it directly into the USB port, which is over here, I believe. Now, I'm not going to be able to get that off on camera. I'll have to do some surgery on it. But I can plug this, any USB mic, directly into this device, and it works. And then also, I've got, coming from Amazon, just a $50 USB front and back firing mic. So therefore, I can, you know, have this in front of me, shooting stuff in front of me, but then also narrating from the back, and it will pick up my voice. That is one thing that the GoPro, I wish, did better, especially if you're using the media mod. You can only choose the front and the back microphones. You can't choose both of them. So if you're interviewing somebody and you've got this in somebody's face and you ask a question, your voice is muffled because you probably have the microphone on the front firing media mod. So I can't wait to use this. I got this before Huntsville. I'm shooting this the week before Huntsville. So I'm going to be using this quite a bit at Huntsville and getting interviews and just general shots. So anyway, that's the Action 4. And that's the video, boys and girls. Aren't you glad that you survived until the end of this, only for me to not even show you any footage? If you made this to all the way to the end of the video, put a comment below saying, you know, I made it to the end of the video, because I bet you there's only a handful of you that clicked on this video, saw that it was me ranting and an unboxing video, and got the hell out of Dodge. I wouldn't have stand for it. I would have been gone. But anyway, consider yourself lucky that you made it to the end. So, if you see me at Huntsville, or you see any shots of me from now on out in the field, you'll know that it is being filmed on the Action 4. So, that's it. Thanks, everyone. 73.